collective for March, I'm going to say part two. Um, the collective, I am having the most interesting emotional roller coaster ride, and I'm going to ask for all those here on this planet who are going through all the pushes from the planetary alignment and um, the fear modalities and oh, it's just a lot to clear and a lot to stay focused on. Yeah, there's a lot for me here. A lot of physical clearings, a lot of kind of old injuries coming up again, and working to clear those without the emotional tie to the physical place when I could have sworn that was gone, kind of thing. um, and not feeling like I'm at fault or I need to do something different. I just need to be with it and allow it to pass through. All physical things are part of a mental construct of an emotional kind of injury of some sort or emotional pattern that you kept up in your own mind, which you injured yourself. It's not even like injury that somebody else hurt you, but you did this to you. I feel like in the history of um, my life and being a woman during this time, it was very much a part of what I was taught to keep myself in check, so to speak. Uh, that I would be very self-critical. And so there were patterns that were put in that I and finding compassion for, nurturing myself through, that I feel like are coming up again, and possibly for the collective. It's really all of this coherence that we're nurturing as a united human heart, human voice for our heart, has everything to do with how we're connecting with our own physicality. This is where it all comes together, all of it. All of our esoteric thinking, philosophy, spiritual training, everything gets grounded and manifests within our physical body. And when we're being bombarded, which we are right now, by a constant state of manipulative information where our safety is being questioned, safety of others. What kind of humanity are we really living through? Thinking that this is not the humanity that I was in heart coherence with, as if it was separate from you. So just the same that we have these older injuries coming back to resurface, with compassion we say, yes, I remember this pattern. Yes. And I have compassion for going through that. And I'm allowing at this time for the heart space that I fostered over years and years of doing this work and doing my meditations and clearing myself, right? How I can find compassion, maybe even such a difficult thing to find for what we're seeing in the world, right? But it is essential in the clearing process, because there's nothing in the world that doesn't mirror something we learned. And there's no saying, oh, well, that's not me, that's somebody else. Everything that bothers you is asking to be brought into your heart space for compassion, for a place of, I can see how that arrived. I see the history of that. I see the pattern of that. And I now embrace it and allow it with all the love and compassion that I can drum up from my eternal space of love to clear it, to let it go. And maybe there's a lot of tears. There's a lot of grief. There's a whole there's so much history that we're now clearing and saying goodbye to, and weirdly enough might even have some attachments to. It's comfort because it's known. This is the pattern I grew up in. This is what's known. It's a terrible pattern. I don't like it. No, it didn't serve me well. It made me feel this, this, and this. But somehow, because it's known, it's a comfort. I don't know if that's making any sense whatsoever. And taking this as food for thought. Like, how can we take these readings, take this information, and kind of just sit with it for a minute without disregarding all of it and just going, oh, this is all woo woo. And you know, I don't want to resonate with any of this. Um, if you're having an aggressive response to it, there's something to that as well, right? Are you in a protective stance? Are you disturbed by it because of, oh, it's not founded in something that you believe? It's not scientifically backed. It's something, something. Like, find out why you're having maybe an aggressive, a mad, sad response to any of the things that we're mentioning. That's a place for release. That's a place for release, because in the discussion, in the sharing of perspective, it's just that. We're just sharing, right? You, I'm not forcing this on you, right? But if you're having a response to it, oh, there's something inside you that's getting stirred up, because there's nothing being shared here that's aggressive towards anyone, right? I'm just talking from a human perspective in this body. My higher self is bringing a lot of clarity, or taking all this muddled stuff, and we're trying to sift through it, right? Where is the human response from my higher self perspective, trying to have respect for the process of what humanity is coming through, the birthing process, rebirth process of how we're creating this new, or going back to original form of our heart coherence and our blueprint. There's adjustments. We've been through so much. Of course we're not going to be ideally aligned with our original, because there's been so many other things that have happened. And how are we creating that? Because that's the interesting part of all of this, is that through our understanding and development of understanding of our emotional responses, we then can clear and find peace and grounded quality through all the anger and the sadness. And know that when things come through to you about what's happening in the world, and I'm trying not to watch the news, but stuff's coming through anyway. And I can feel the pain, right? I can feel the sorrow. I can feel the fear. There's an emotional response. I can feel it in my body. And so I'm taking much time to honor any of the movement of clearings in the body. So, yes, there's attention to movement, breath work, yoga. Excellent. These are all excellent. Maybe you're doing something a little bit more active. Maybe you're running and doing all of those things. I know I'm needing some rest. So I took a nap in the middle of the day, meditating during the middle of my work day, a couple of times, just putting my hands on my heart and breathing to allow more of a connection to the coherence that I know is there. So as each one of us is guided to connect in incremental times during the day, maybe you have a timer that goes off. Maybe you're not regimented that way. Maybe you just go by how you're feeling, and whether or not you need to go and be with a tree or take a walk outside, or what it is that you need to regain your equilibrium. Know that that process for you is giving balance to another person in coherence, close coherence to you, right, in the quantum field, that needs a little bit more support, right? So every chance that you feel like you can reach into coherence of love, do it. Do it for yourself first and foremost. You are the most important element of this movement, and as you do that, know without a doubt how important it is for someone else who may be very close by, who's having a very hard time connecting to their heart coherence. And this is all in relationship. We're learning so much within our body about what it is to become a unified human community. Because in that heart coherence, there's always the connection to nature. Because Gaia is integral in our experience. We cannot separate our energy, our waves of connection, our waves of movement through this, and she not feel it, right? So Gaia is always involved. So the trees and the elementals and the bush, all the flowers, everything that's near you is also grounding and feeling the fluctuations of your heart space and how they're holding your hand. How are you connecting? Can you connect? Will you take the opportunity to spend a moment with that tree outside your house? Just say good morning. I chant in the morning. Occasionally, I'm not going to say every day because I'm not an everyday person. With the birds, they stop singing and they look at me. It's absolutely just my heart. Oh my goodness. Like they were just singing 2 minutes ago. I start singing. They're like, oh, it's your turn. And they look very magical. Very magical. The more that you connect, you can feel the support of Gaia through all of the nature. There is a huge danger, and I wonder if that's actually the right word to use, but temptation maybe is more accurate in in picking up words, picking up a story of the past, something that you used to say, right? Or something that somebody else is saying right now and reiterating that. There's a huge temptation to just chime in with whatever everybody else is saying and changing the course of your focus and your sacred heart space into more fear-based. This is something to watch. This is something to be aware of. It may come across and you don't even know, and half the day's gone by and you've been thinking this one thought and you're like, wow, I just heard that, in a passing conversation. That wasn't even a conversation I was involved in, and I picked it up. Okay. And how do we just give that stuff away? Exchange the mantra from the fear modality, from the from the talk of how it's all falling apart, because it is falling apart. But there's no fear in that. This has to fall apart in order for us to thrive. We're not thriving now. There's no way for humanity to thrive in this kind of um, structure. It's not meant for humans to thrive. It's absolutely meant for slavery, taking our free will and our focus from our heart song and moving it into survival mode. And that's very sad. As I say this, I'm grieving. I'm grieving all the lives that are stuck in this pattern. So this must fall away. And it's going to be difficult to watch, but not impossible to understand that this has to go in order for us to rebuild. So please, must watch how you're picking up like a sponge because of your receptivity other information that doesn't reside in your heart. Know that we are safe and taken care of, and there will be the story at the end of the breakdown will be the building, will be the freedom, will be the rest. We've all been working so hard and we have been traumatized. I've been releasing trauma for years, residing in my body somewhere. You gotta go find it, gotta go let it out. In this release, there is this unfolding of a world that you actually want to be in. A world that supports your creativity, your rest, your self care. Communities that want to see what you're really about. Without expectation, without an exchange based on money, time, values, some sort of external value system. Just to be seen. A human with, I don't know, an idea, a trait, a gift, or just a beautiful song. Just peace. Be here in that space, and everything will unfold, and you will prevail. Each one must attend to the place in their heart where there's nervousness, taking it apart and reinventing that beautiful place, the ideal place of being alive and being here on the planet without all of those other rules and regulations. To be able to rest, be free, and sing and dance in the song of Gaia. Find those veins of this song as you walk now and connect. Gaia is here to support us, bringing our heart blessings to her, strengthens her movement. She can take all of your grief and your pain and your anger. Allow this connection. Find this connection. It is the only work that has the value that you need to get through this. Shut down the computer. Stop looking at your phone. It's stealing your peace. I am learning this myself. This is all a message through my experience as a human. Many blessings for you. Thank you for listening. Like and subscribe. Share with someone you feel might resonate with the message. It's essential right now we share in community and find our peace. It's going to get rockier before it levels out. Much love and thank you.